Okay, I will call the special meeting of the Glendale City Council to order for April 11th. Roll call, please.
Council members Garpetian.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Sinanian. Here. Mayor Devine.
Here. Next item.
The agenda for the April 11, 2017 special public meeting of the City Council was posted on Friday, April 7, 2017 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. Before you is Director of Community Development regarding Ciclavia Glendale Meets Atwater Open Streets event. 1A is a motion authorizing City Manager or his designee to execute all funding agreements associated with the receipt of grant funding for an open streets event with Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority Metro and Ciclavia. B is a motion authorizing the City Manager or his designee to execute a professional services agreement with Ciclavia Inc., California Corporation, to produce the Ciclavia Glendale Meets Atwater event. C is the resolution of appropriation amount of $301,420 to fund the Glendale Ciclavia event.
Thank you. Mr. Ochoa?
Yes, ma'am. Jackie Bartlow, our Economic Development Coordinator, will be giving you the overview of this very interesting and hopefully very fun project. We've seen it in other parts of the county, and people have just seemed to go nuts for it. So we hope to replicate that here in town, heading down south to our neighbors in Atwater.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and Council. I'm Jackie Bartlow with Economic Development.
And Jackie, we will try to have the PowerPoints up, but only the viewers at home will be able to see it, and we are hoping to show it on only that screen. We still haven't figured out the technical issue.
You all have copies of the presentation. I'm excited to present to you Glendale's first Ciclavia proposal. This has been years in the making, as open streets events have become increasingly popular as an innovative way to encourage more sustainable modes of transportation, reduce traffic congestion, and public health improvement. These events have become international trends and movements that Glendale is ready to experience. Open streets events close the street to vehicular traffic and encourage the public to get out of their cars and use other non-motorized modes of transportation like biking, walking, skating to explore the city. Late last year, the City of Glendale partnered with the City of Los Angeles and Ciclavia to apply for a competitive grant being offered by Metro's Open Streets Grant Program. As a part of our bid to host an event in Glendale, we described our local initiatives like Glendale's Be Smart and the urban design and mobility efforts to make Glendale's streets safer and reduce traffic. We were successful in this bid to host an event, and over the last couple of months, we have been working with the Ciclavia organization, the neighboring cities, and various community stakeholders to bring a high-caliber open streets event to Glendale. Our main goal is to get our community out of their cars and experience the diverse cultures of Glendale and increase the city's economic vitality. In working with our stakeholders, we have developed the proposed route, which you'll see in your slide there, which extends from Brand Boulevard and Durand to the north to Atwater Village on the south end. It is approximately 3 miles and is proposed to take place on Sunday, June 11th from 9 to 4. The route has no beginning or end, but rather participants can enter the route at any point along the route. All major intersections will remain open to vehicular traffic and controlled by Glendale police officers. As part of our initial outreach efforts in putting together the proposed route, city staff and Ciclavia met with the Brand Boulevard of Cars, Glendale Galleria, the Americana Brand, and the Downtown Glendale Association. They each voiced some concern that they might lose some customers due to the street closures, so we analyzed various routes and chose the least impactful option that still achieves the city's economic development priorities and provide exposure to our wonderful community. We also met with other cities and business organizations that have hosted Ciclavia events within their communities and discuss the positive economic impact they experienced. I'd like to share a few positive quotes from some of those business organizations, and it'll be very brief. It's a summary of their comments. The first is from Greg Limley of Limley Theater, who has businesses in North Hollywood and Pasadena and will be joining our community shortly. He says his experience doing Ciclavia Open Streets events has had a positive impact on his business, and they haven't experienced any loss of business on the day of the event. He is also here in the audience in support of Glendale Ciclavia. The next person we spoke with is Eric Sims of the Culver City Business Association, Downtown Business Association, who says that the businesses within their district experienced record-breaking sales and received a great deal of positive attention and awareness. Also, George Yu of the Chinatown Business Improvement District says each year is more successful than the previous year, and the family atmosphere is what they strive for in placemaking. Lou's Pizza, which is a small mom and pop's business in Pasadena, says that they've had 10 times the business they usually have in a day. And then finally, Seth Horowitz, the general manager of the Culver Hotel in Culver City, says Ciclavia is the single biggest day of daytime business in the history of downtown Culver City. In your packet, you'll see there's also some slides of pictures, and that's from the event that took place in March in Culver City. And I want to add to that our police department actually sent over a number of officers to assist them in their event. And some of them are here today in case you have questions. Next is the budget. The budget for the Glendale event is $301,420. The expenses include the Ciclavia agreement, which is $150,000, the cost of Glendale Police Department, which is at $87,300, and the fire department services inspections, which is $2,600. Some additional marketing at $2,600. The Metro grant allocation to the City of Los Angeles is $30,520. And what that is when we apply for the grant, we applied jointly. And so we are the lead agency. So they provide us with the full grant, and then we have to reimburse the City of Los Angeles. And also the traffic control plan at $28,400, which gives you the total of $300,420. Existing funds for the event right now that we have budgeted. Economic Development has $45,000 that we've budgeted for this type of event in our current budget. The Metro grant at $179,520, which gives us a total of $224,520. That's been a tongue twister for me all day. Which leaves us a need of $76,900. Therefore, we are requesting authorization to accept the LA County Metro grant in the amount of $179,520, approve the partnership agreement with Ciclavia and the City of Los Angeles, allocate the $301,420 to fund the Ciclavia Open Streets event, like I said, which leaves $76,900 being requested as new funding. That concludes my presentation. We also have the Executive Director of Ciclavia, Ramel Pascual, here, and he's going to give you some additional information on Ciclavia.
Thank you. Yes. I have two cards. This is, come on up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Devine and members of City Council. My name is Ramel Pascual. I'm the Executive Director of Ciclavia. As Jackie mentioned, Ciclavia is more than, to me, it's more than just an event that opens up streets to people and families. It's really an opportunity for us, not only as a city, but as a region, to come together as a community. There are very few times where you see a community as large as LA County being able to visit and see cities and communities like a Glendale, like an Atwater, like a Watts, where we had gone to, and like a Culver City, where we've been to. And one of the dynamic results and things that we didn't expect when we did this in 2010 was the types of impacts that we've measured. And the measurements of impacts are not anecdotal evidence. They're actually studies done by RAND Corporation, UCLA, and USC, where they've measured air quality has improved by 50%. Crime has been reduced by 40%. Economic development and local sales have increased by as much as 60%. And one of the amazing stories that we hear at Ciclavia is how safe it is. That there are very few times where you get as many people as you do get, and the sense of safety resonates throughout, because that is one of the most important aspects of the work that we do. And so we're excited to be here to help with convening a Ciclavia in Glendale. I'm a Eagle Rock resident. I shop a whole lot in Glendale because, it's a wonderful and dynamic city. And so we're excited to be here. And one point of fact is, Ciclavia, while it originated in Southern California as the name Ciclavia, we essentially borrowed it from Bogota. Bogota does this every week, every Sunday. 75 to 80 miles of their streets are opened up to people every week. Paris is doing this now once a week because of air quality. London has done it. Sao Paulo, if you've been to Sao Paulo, it's essentially the LA region gone wild, and they do it every week. Mexico City, New York City, San Francisco, Portland. So we're not new, but we've become a model of how to do an open streets event in not only a safe way, but in a fun way. It's open to all. It's a free event. You see age range from a few months old to as much as 90 years old, and we try to accommodate all those in between. We also work with with AARP to provide pedicabs for folks who can't necessarily do the whole, even though it's 3 miles, we work with them to be able to provide the pedicabs to those who want to participate. And so we're excited to be part of planning and working with the city of Glendale on this. Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Pasquale. So you are the Ciclavia agency?
We're a nonprofit organization, yes.
And you are receiving the $150,000?
As part of, yes.
The budget?
As part of, it's to
providing
the services. So essentially, the work that we do is we do organizing. We knock door to door to make sure that the impacts are minimized, that we hear what community, not just residents, but businesses want. We provide the hubs. There are hubs at each event, multiple hubs that have the safety features, the first aid, the bike repair, the water, all of those rentals that are associated with putting on Ciclavia. We worked also to seek out mitigation measures, should there need to be mitigation measures that we absorb as an organization. So putting on an event requires the staffing that goes months ahead of time. Organizing is very important to us. Community outreach is very important to us. And so the costs are associated with staffing and the hard costs with putting on the event, such as providing the hub, which is the activities, the programming associated with putting on an event.
Is the city responsible for vendors and that sort of activity that goes on?
It's a partnership. So we also work, we think about what kind of theme do we want this particular Ciclavia to have, and then we work with the cities. In Culver City, the theme was around neighbors. You had the city of Los Angeles and the city of Culver City coming together, and the theme was also a centennial. It was Culver City's centennial year. And so we had activations that really reflected the historical characteristics of Culver City. On the LA side, it was really more about this push for public health and the Olympics that LA 24 bid. So there was a lot of programming associated with physical activity. And so we worked with the city of Los Angeles as well to put programming that reflects those themes. And so we'll do the same, certainly, and follow the lead of the city in terms of what theme.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Garpetian?
Me and my mic, right? So what do you anticipate as far as the attendances? How many people do you think is going to attend? And how does this work? I mean, I heard that says there is no starting or ending point, and people can just join from any point they want. And also on I'm just asking a few of my questions so you can maybe answer it at the same time. Also in this map here, the route, there are a few points that, where is it? Right, what are these yellow points? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't read what's in front of it. It says it's a
Crossing
creating. Oh, these are crossing points
crossing
for cars.
points, yes.
Okay.
And so the blue.
So cars can still go across.
Exactly.
I mean,
We don't want to create a marathon type of experience, which essentially is hard closures if that street is closed, you can't cross it at any point. And we also, part of the Ciclavia experience is it's open to all. You know, a marathon experience is it's open to those who paid to participate and then those who didn't watch. So there's no mingling of the sense of joy that folks would have. With Ciclavia is we want to make sure that that traffic as the impacts are minimized as much as possible. So we create those traffic crossing points that are well-staffed. And then in terms of the numbers, Metro at the last event, which was a 6-mile route, estimated more than 100,000 people from Culver City to Venice Beach. We've had similar routes that are 3.5 miles to 4 miles in Pacoima in the Northeast Valley, and that was about 40,000 to 50,000 people. So if you imagine Pacoima, which is a place where when we went, it was a dynamic place because it was the Mural Mile. It's artistic, but a lot of folks have never been to Pacoima. And we did one on Wilshire, the iconic Wilshire Boulevard from downtown LA to Koreatown to Wilshire, straight line. That was about 50,000 people, and it was about 100 degrees outside. So what you get is really folks wanting to participate. And at each event, we have roughly 40% new participants, first time that they come. So you can just imagine, you know, the ways in which it.
Okay. And are there any entertainments?
Yes.
What kind
so
of entertainment?
It's a partnership with the city. So we've had in the past music. We've had children's groups sing. We've had cultural dancing. We've had rock climbing for those who are physically active for kids. You know, we partnered with the National Forest Service, and they provided a rock climbing wall for kids. We have a bike safety effort with kids that complete a course, and we give them a helmet. And many types of activities that reflect the local culture.
And are they budgeted into this 300,000?
Yes, it's budgeted within the scope of the contract. You know, so we'll work with the folks to be able to provide that, and then if we need to go beyond it, we'll go ahead and try to find other. We're a nonprofit, so we also have the ability to potentially find other resources that help above and beyond what it is that the scope says.
So that fits into that $150,000 that you charge, or it's in?
It fits into the minimal work. Based on our experience, is very different depending on the route size, but it is built in. The minimum of the activities that we have done in the past, based on our experiences, is built in. Should we go and want to do something more, we will work together, and because we have the capacity as a nonprofit to work with foundations, we'll try to also seek resources.
And the last question is, as far as you mentioned that you promote the event, and as far as advertising or door-to-door, when is it going to start?
It started. We've been going along the different corridors. We have a team of volunteers that work from both ends and try to come to the middle. We've started on the Atwater side. We wanted to begin the Glendale piece certainly after the council approval processes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I know I just got the Northwest Homeowners Association newsletter, and it's already in there. They already had a little ad for it. Ciclavia is coming. I have two speaker cards, if I may. Greg Lemley, and I have a question for you.
Is it regarding Ciclavia?
When? No, it does not.
Hi there, Mayor Devine, members of the council. Thank you for being. It's a pleasure to be here today. Not talking about our development, which is going well, thank you.
Oh, okay.
But my quote was mentioned. I really want to reiterate. We have had Ciclavia events in front of two of our theaters in North Hollywood and in Pasadena. We're not the sort of business where someone goes to an open streets event and decides I'm going to spend 2.5 hours watching a movie. So the patrons that came on that day were our regular patrons. And by and large, we did not see any discernible drop in business. People, based on the route, they're able to get within a block or two of a business. They can still park, and they can still, patronize a local business. not to mention the fact that you now have hundreds of thousands of people, or certainly tens of thousands of people, that would not normally be in that area. Now, whether you're a business that can take advantage of someone looking for a quick spot to have lunch, or whether you're a business that is just looking to acquire customers, these are people that are at your doorstep. And if you can do something fun, because everybody's looking to have fun at Ciclavia, you're going to make them aware of what your business is, where it's located, and also make them aware of how great the neighborhood is. I'm very excited that the Lemley Glendale will be opening soon. And we plan on taking advantage of Ciclavia, even though we're not open, to have a booth and to make sure that people know that the theater is coming, because we feel that when people see downtown Glendale, all the terrific businesses that are here, the new residences that are here, they're going to be very excited, and they're going to want to return to downtown Glendale. So I do encourage you to support this event. Now, if you have a...
Thank you very much. Soon, I wrote that down.
Soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Graham Michaels?
Good afternoon. My name is Grant Michaels. While I am involved in many organizations, I'm speaking here as an individual today. I would like to take a moment to thank congratulate Councilmember Najarian and Sinani on their campaigns. I am in support of the Ciclavia event. Many people have spoken of the benefits of it. I believe this will be an event that aligns with many of the city's Healthy City initiatives. But additionally, my experience is more of what was referred to as the marathon events or the triathlon events. For me, many of the draws of the events I've been involved with have been the bike ride. The Los Angeles Triathlon initially closed streets from Venice Boulevard to downtown LA for 25 miles. That was a draw for me and many other participants to have a safe route to go from Venice Beach to downtown and see things that we may not see as we travel in a car. There were some businesses that I found and went back to after those events. With a Ciclavia event, you have a different perspective. Rather than driving through the city, you go at a different pace and you can explore the city more. I would again encourage you to support this event. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Councilmember Najarian?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Let me give you a little background on this. I think for years the city council has indicated an interest in doing one of these open street events. But unfortunately, time and time again at the Metro Board, it would be the city of LA and their block of 4 votes that would grab the money and place it either downtown or the east side or the west side or the Venice Beach, which was great, but a lot of the other areas of the city, of the county, felt a little neglected. So this was I believe, a $2 million pot of money that Metro carved out and then put forth a competitive process. And I'm very glad that staff who had been listening to council over the years decided to put in the application. So we're close to the front of the line in these. I realize that we're short about 76,000, and I would ask staff to, or ask, I guess, the city manager if you had made any contact with my transportation person to see if we could get some of that money up front, and you snooze under the theory of you snooze, you lose for those cities well down the line who weren't prepared. If we could maybe get some more money for that.
Yes, sir. It's your direction. We had made the call. We are in queue. Okay. If somebody does fall by the wayside, then we are very much in line to acquire those funds. However, to the extent that there would be contractual obligations made, we're asking that you approve this just to be conservative. But if we don't have to spend it, then that goes back to the Economic Development Department, and they could use those dollars for some other project as directed by council.
That's great. So let's keep doing that. With regard to the actual setup, I would insist that since Glendale is paying the lion's share of this, that if there is a main stage, that's usually how they do it. There's a main stage, and we get up to speak, and
that's what I was going to ask.
Plaques, and let's have it in Glendale if we can. We'll throw our weight around versus Atwater, and it's a lot of fun. let's also make sure Metro gets some of their bike rental, their bike shares. They've got a compact system where they can bring the bikes out, so those of us who don't have bikes can rent them at a very modest cost for the day and become familiar with the bike share system. I love the idea of the performances, and as you know, Glendale is, aside from Porto's Bakery, Glendale is known for its very great Armenian culture. So I think it would be quite an eye-opener to some folks who have not yet ventured to Glendale and heard some of our cultural, some of our culture, our singers, our dancers. So maybe we can help get some of that out there so people can see what's going on there. And lastly, let's be in touch with Metro and Metrolink, because I imagine a lot of people would like to take transit to this event. The 501 line has their standard 2 or 3 bike racks up front. Let's see if we can get some sort of exception to bring bikes on the bus, as well as Metrolink. Let's see if they can maybe even dedicate a bicycle car on the routes that will be crossing, because they'll be dropped off right at the train station, which will be very close. So let's make sure we don't miss that opportunity to encourage people to take transit to this event. And I'm very happy that staff has done it and that council has expressed an interest in this for several years. So I'm happy to support it.
Anyone else?
Just happy. I'm happy it's finally happening.
Righto, right, yeah. Well, I was under the impression that it was one way, so learning today that it's just like everybody converging wherever they want makes it sound a lot more interesting, a lot more fun, and I think the more fun we make it, the better.
Utter chaos.
Utter chaos.
Okay.
Controlled chaos.
And one more thing, I presume, staff, that you've got our very active Walk Bike Glendale group in on this, as well as the LA Bicycle Coalition, and all the folks that have been discussing this and coming to council to speak are also going to do their share to bring folks in for a very successful ride. Thank you.
You have a committee already organized, do you?
Yes, we do have a committee already organized, internal staff, the various departments, as well as some outside agencies like Glendale Arts. I'm not sure if it's the Bicycle Coalition, but it's one of those organizations. But they're all a part of it, and we've been speaking about this event for a couple months now.
Okay. And I really would like to encourage us to do the bike training for kids, because I think I've heard from other people that that's absolutely a fabulous program to have at the Ciclavia. So
we'll definitely make
any kind of safety and education that we can put in is absolutely a necessity, I think. I mean, it can be fun, but we can also gain education from it as well.
So have we contacted Caruso Affiliated and General Growth? Because this really is going to be right in front of their properties and could be a great promotion for them as well.
That's the way we are characterizing it. I think they are alternately skeptical, reluctant, resigned, but I think seeing is believing. And the testimonials that you've heard, I think, will bear significant benefit to all of those folks.
All I can say is Shake Shack better be ready.
Yeah. My fear is that it's easier to go downhill than it is to pedal back up. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, Mayor, if I may, we have to make sure that these main stages are, as Mr. Najarian indicated, it's in Glendale. Because if you walk all the way down to Atwater, especially when you go under the bridge, nobody's going to come back. So this main event is going to end up in Atwater. So, and that's not what I'm looking for, to be honest with you. We're doing this, we're paying the lion's share of the cost. And also, if you look at the Central Avenue, I don't know how many restaurants do we have. I mean, the economic vitality that we were talking about, it's not just Glendale Galleria or the Caruso affiliates. It's Brand Boulevard has a lot more restaurants that can benefit from this, but we have to basically connect the two together. So by having the main stage on Central, even north of Colorado, because south of Colorado there's not much restaurants over there that is attractive. And if you ride your bike all the way down or walk all the way down, the chance of them coming back is, especially pedaling back up after a big burger, not a chance. So that's, and also SCAG has a program called Go Human.
Yes.
It's a if you can contact them, they're looking for opportunities like this. It's a great program they have that they teach children how to be safe and ride their bikes. I think that's a great program. You can collaborate with this program, and I'm for it as well. It's a great program. I hope it'll do well, and we'll do more often in the future.
I think staff's going to have a lot of fun doing this, actually, putting this on, aren't you?
And
Yes.
that's for everybody.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
Now I have to go buy a bicycle. That's
There'll be rentals.
Right.
I have to buy my own.
Okay. Do I have a,
Thank you.
let's see, can we take all three? Mr. Garcia? Yes. Do I have a motion for 1, A, B, and C?
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Council members Garpetian,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Sinanian,
Yes.
Mayor Devine.
Yes. And what's next, please?
No other items on this agenda. We just need a motion to adjourn.
Do I need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Second. Thank you.